100 grams.
Feeling so tall, I could give a high five to the pilot. Yeah, family tight, I keep small circle like island. Whoa, inbox full of contracts, I signed with a stylist. Yeah, blue faces blowing up like violet. Talk about the things they're gonna say when they see me, and when they see me, they just dap me up and say good to meet me. I keep it going, flowing over this and make it look easy. Easy for me to say I do this every day of the week. I'm eager to be the one they talk about when all said and done with it. I'm the feature that they want, but then they don't when I come with it. I'm a scene, still a seat, filler, blow up the numbers, and I ain't leaving no crumbs, so you know when I'm done with it. I'm a new school vibe with an old soul, oh so great. Stay paid by the boatload, don't go chase.
Yo, yo.
Oh no, I got the bag, I'm
Back just double it.
I'm about to pop the top, I've been bubbling. They want the spot, but I do not cut them in. They tryna plot my drop, they been huddling. Feeling so tall, I could give a high five to the pilot. Yeah, family tight, I keep small circle like island. Whoa, inbox full of contracts, I signed with a stylist.
Wide emotes.
Yeah, blue faces blowing up.
What does that mean?
I know a lot of people praying for my downfall, but the only thing that I'll be down for is being top 5, but like down 4. I'm down to earth like the ground floor, but I've been flying so long, I tend to ask people, what's the ground for? Man, I'm only headed up.
Yeah, I know white people happy.
Heard the fans getting rowdy because they haven't had enough. You know I'm running the city, you just running out of luck. Yeah, I say that with my chest, I flow hard. It's no wonder they easily impressed. I'm so far, but I'm always coming back with something fresh. I never rest, where you'll never catch this ego in a nest. I invest my time in a booth, I find a piece. I used to piece the boom in my
Hello.
ex knows this. Let me expose this. She left because she don't want to be with an explosive man. I'm just
Feeling so tall, I could give a high five to the pilot.
5-0, drive slow, hot, cold, move your feet, pick and roll, ooh, you sweet, good to go, oh, what a lovely day, it is what a lovely day.
I thought you died because there's no way you'd willingly not go live for 3 days. I went live yesterday. Right? So for someone who's so concerned with my live schedule that they think I died if I didn't go live, it's kind of weird that you just missed the stream. You know, it feels like it's kind of on you, bro. If you are telling people I'm dead because I didn't go live and then I went live, that doesn't feel like a me problem. Good to see you all. Little Marketing Monday on a Tuesday. Got some wins and fails for you, among other things. Got a fun video I want to watch. And possibly we'll end with a Shark Tank or Community Season 4 episode dose. All right, those are the fucking options for today. When is Japan? February. So in about a week, I go to Japan for 2 weeks. Which should be fun with all the homies. Started a marketing class today because of you. All right, just make sure, like, if you don't like it. Well, wait, actually, no. Let me be clear with my recommendation here. Because all classes, in general, are probably not fun. You know what I'm saying? Never. I hate when people assume that this can't be for me because I'm not having fun. You know, it's like, what did you fucking expect, bro? You think it's going to be just fucking rosy the whole time? Nothing is fun. There's a few classes that are fun, but in general, I wouldn't let that be your judgment on whether you like it or not. If you find researching it interesting, then I think you're on the right path. History of ice cream. You're right. I did number 1, the Hunger Deans. Will you do any IRL streaming in Japan? Maybe, but I have no technical ability to do so. So it'll depend on what's set up there. We're all going to be pretty close, the whole squad, and there may be some stream setups or whatever. I don't know. The point is I get back the morning, the day after the Super Bowl. So I will be live with a Marketing Monday on the 13th. Of February 13th, doing Super Bowl ads. That was important to me. I literally told Ari, I was like, hey, I literally have to change the flight if I'm not back in time to do a Marketing Monday. Super Bowl ads is the Super Bowl of ads. Does that make sense? Does that metaphor make sense? Okay, for marketers, the Super Bowl is like the Super Bowl. But for ads. And I don't want to miss it. And I definitely want to do I definitely want to do a marketing plan. It's one of my favorite videos every year is to just review all the commercials and talk about them with chat. Who are you rooting for the Super Bowl? I don't fucking know. Who's in it? I don't know fucking who's in it, dude. I don't give a shit. We don't know yet? All right. Who do you think's going to be in it? I'll just tell you. Give me the 4 teams. Is it semis? Give me the 4. I'll pick one, and then I'll be right. It's going to be crazy, but I'll be right. Chiefs, Bengals versus Eagles, 49ers. Niners. Done. Easy. Wrapped it. Make your bets. You'll get easy money, bro. Easy money. And you should do it in sports betting because that's the fucking wave now. Actually, I'm not going to include the wins and fails, so I'll just do it right now. I noticed, you know how like there'll be those viral threads on Twitter, and then the top comment will always be the poster, like shilling a vibrator or something. Like the 3, it's like a fucking vibrator, a fucking one of those lamps that plays movies on your wall, and like, you know, all the it's like every fucking viral thread has that. Well, I saw this thread. It was just about like, oh wait, what the fuck? Did Ari fuck with this? God damn it. God damn it. This thread. It was just like about fucking famous black actresses. But anyway, in the middle of the thread, it goes, check it out. I've made over $1 million this past week with this channel. Join the Right Prediction channel today. And it was like literally a fucking channel on how to gamble better. It's like, I don't think you made $1 million. Something tells me. So like we're seeing fucking viral, you know, this is the product that's being sold now. It's being shilled. Is like gambling success channels. And you're going to see more of those for sure. Like the places that promise you that like they know the odds and like this is the sports bet that's going to win. And it's all horseshit. There's a great classic sports betting scam that was done via mail. It was pretty genius, actually. What they would do was, so let's say a big game was coming up and it's, I don't know, Bengals, Chiefs or whatever. They would just pick one at random. They would say Bengals. And they would mail everybody in the area, in a neighborhood, like a letter that says, hey, you don't have to trust us, but we're telling you right now, free tip, the Bengals are going to win with our patented system. And then, okay, they mail one neighborhood Bengals, one neighborhood Chiefs, okay? Then no matter who wins, one neighborhood is like, oh, they were right. Then the next week, they do it again. They do it again, but they split that neighborhood in half. So they'll split that neighborhood in half. So they'll do that for like 3 weeks straight. And eventually it's a small chunk of one neighborhood that thinks these guys are gods. Eventually there's like 1/4 of a neighborhood that's like, wait a minute, they've been right 3 weeks in a row and it's been for free. I have to get in this. And then they message them and start dumping their money in. And that's when they got them hooked. That's a classic scam. And you're going to see variations on that all over this year. As sports betting gets more and more profitable and mainstream. And hey, Big A, I just had a job interview that went really well. You gave some advice one stream on interviews and helped me clutch up. You won't see this, but thanks anyways. I did see it, and I'm happy for you. Congrats. The guy that made my controller, Max W, reached out to me today urgently. I usually don't respond to these, but he was like, he just DM'd me on Twitter. I got it in my thing, and he was just like, yo, Big A, I'm begging you. It's urgent. I'm talking to a recruiter right now, and they said, what is your salary expectations? Please, what do I say? And I was like, all right, I'll help you out. And then I sort of walked him through it. What you say? I told him to say, well, first of all, you should do your research, right? You should find what that job is generally making in your area. What's like a range? And then don't give a hard number. Don't give them a hard number, but say, based on my research, the salary range for this job in this area is X amount to X amount. And given the impact I think I could have in this role and my experience with X, whatever the job is and whatever your background is, I'd be aiming for the upper end of that range. Overall, I'm just looking to be compensated fairly for a job in a company that I'm excited about working for. That's sort of the gist. Is like you don't want to come off as contentious. You don't want to make it like a you versus them situation. You want to make it like it's a win-win. Like, I'm really excited. This job rules. I'm just trying to, and you don't want to come off as super weak though, just because you'll get shafted. They'll body bag you. But I also told him, because I don't know where he's at in his career. I gotta help him fast. I don't know where he's at in his career, to be honest. If it's your first job and you don't really have a lot of experience, you don't got a lot to your name, and you kind of do want to work there, sometimes I'd say it's okay to take the L. Just because you got to get your foot in the door. You got to get some names on the resume. That's not common advice, but I might give it. It's just like sometimes you got to take the L and not negotiate the exact max amount you could get, because you kind of just want to get a fucking experience. But oh, it's this guy again. What happened to the Ari lady? She was great. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that you guys all thought my wife was a fantastic streamer. I actually passed all the kind messages along to her, and she was happy. But she says she doesn't really want to do it. But I'm gonna try. I'll see. I think she's Shilton Prime, so I'm down. Have you seen this? You can get actual college credit by watching YouTube videos. Not just any college credit. ASU college credit, baby. Free degree to Harvard of the Southwest. Yes, you can watch YouTube videos to get college credit. It is fucking the future. Now all of you can join me as an ASU student. We're all sort of ASU alumni together, as long as you watch these YouTube videos. Bird Sporkle was not... She did Bird Sporkle? That's hype. That's hype. How is everybody doing? What's the haps, dude? How you feeling? How you stealing? I needed a rhyme. I needed a rhyme quickly. I didn't have one. Wait, are you really ASU alum? Fucking L. Damn, we got a big shot over here. Oh shit, dude. Whoa. Oh, I'm sorry. Whoa. Just trying to get a degree, my friend. I'm just trying to make it in this crazy fucked up world. I didn't know it was such a problem. Are you watching The Last of Us? Bro, here's what I want to talk about this. I am running into an issue where very frequently Ludwig will say, guys, we are all going to get together and we're going to watch this show. And it's going to be, we're going to all watch every episode together. And we're going to watch it once a week. And we'll go to Atrioc's house, then we'll go to my house, then we'll go to Stanza's house. And then we never do it. There's like multiple shows now, bro. And so I have to sit here and wait. I'm just holding. And then I find out probably he's going to fucking watch it on his own. I'm the one waiting, dude. I'm holding. I already wanted to watch it last night. I was like, wait, let's hold up. Let's see if we can. So I'm up to here, dude. I'm at the end of my rope. Luckily, there's literally an infinite amount of good media, which is both a gift and a curse for all of us. There's like an infinite amount of if you want to watch a pretty good show, you could probably do it from now till you die in 100 years. So you really could fill every gap of time. Consuming media is a lifestyle worth living. I think it was I'm trying to think of somebody who really fucking, it was Galileo that said that, dude. Yes, sir. Copernicus, Socrates, yeah. Consuming media, that's what it's all about. Martin Luther King's. I have a dream that one day we could sit down and watch video on demand at affordable prices. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm not sure that was his exact. I heard, what's crazy? So for me, I don't know if anyone else fucks with it in the same way. I'm the world's biggest whodunit fan. And I'm talking about pre-Knives Out, bro. I've been a whodunit fan. If it's a cast of characters and one of them's the killer and they're all quirky, I'm fucking in, dude. I'm in. That's my shit. I love like a murder mystery. Yeah, I'd watch an Among Us movie. On God, dude. An Among Us movie with fucking Christian Bale as the red fucking spaceman. Watch him really fucking deliver the monologue about doing wires. I'd 100%. I'd watch it all. I love whodunits. And I found out yesterday that just randomly there's a Christian Bale, Edgar Allan Poe murder mystery whodunit on Netflix that just released. Excuse me? How did I never hear about this? Pale Blue Eye? I have no idea if it's good or not, but I'm going to watch it because that's my shit. Bodies was pretty funny. It was good. I've seen them all, dude. I've seen them all. What I used to do before Linkus had the fucking audacity to move to Texas. A Swede moving to Texas, dude. He has 6 guns now. It's crazy. Before he had the audacity, we used to do double dates where me and Ari and Linkus and Maisie would go to movie theaters and we would see a whodunit and we would have a little text group chat and whoever guessed the killer first was the winner. And so it would, well, I mean, we weren't like texting in the theater. We just pulled it out. And it was hype. It was really fun. It was like a fun little double date activity. What if you guessed multiple times? Well, only your last guess counted. It's whoever guessed the killer first. But you can't, listen, it's an honor system, all right? You're such a shithead, dude. I can't believe it. You're on a fucking double date and you're spamming every character's name that shows up trying to fucking, I won. Actually, I won because I guessed every character. It's like, just fucking, come on, dude. Or you're Googling it. Jesus Christ. Have a fucking, it's not for any money, dude. It's just a fucking little game so we can talk about it at dinner afterwards. Christ. Sigma mentality. That's so funny. Just fucking cheating blatantly in a no fucking prize double date contest and then bragging about it for months. That's hype. That's sick as hell, dude. No, that's really cool. Googling in the bathroom. Really gotta pee. Be right back. And then you come back and type up the fucking plot summary in the group chat. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he killed him with a knife in the. Yeah, that's good. No, that's dope. What I would do is whenever I invited them on the double date, I would wake up at 6 a.m. that morning and go see the earliest matinee showing solo. Then take notes. Okay, so I could more reliably pretend that I was figuring out as I went along. That way it didn't seem so obvious. You know what I'm saying? Thoughts on Clue Movie with Tim Curry? That's a classic. It's great. Did you know the Clue Movie with Tim Curry? I heard this fact. I'm not sure if it's true. Didn't they film like multiple endings so nobody, even the crew, would know which the real one was? They filmed like 8 multiple endings. Yeah, and then, or like whatever. And then, so the crew couldn't even leak. 3? Yeah, that's hype. Mm-hmm. And they show them at different theaters. That's hype. That's clever. And you know, it's a good little bit of viral marketing. People talk about that. It sounds fun. What the fuck is this that I'm getting on Discord? It is about my taxes. Not paying them. Arterosis, thank you for the 19 months. Double winning, thank you for the 23 months. 7 Nutburgers, thank you for the 6 months. Not a line, thank you for the 13. Drummer dude, thank you for the prime. I'm kind of trying to vaguely remember, but what do you guys like? A lot of you are probably having your first year of paying taxes. And do you just like know what to do? I'm trying to remember like how I decided like, oh yeah, I have to pay taxes this year. And I just never did it before. Isn't it strange? It's just a strange thing to do where it's like last year I didn't do it and now I have to do it. And no one really tells you. Like it doesn't. It's just funny how that goes. Especially because for the longest time, you could sort of figure it out just because like you'd start a real job and then you have W-2 income and it's pretty easy with TurboTax. I mean, it's annoying you have to do it in general, but like a lot of people, like a third of all people now are doing gig economy type jobs where it's like more complicated forms, or they're doing things that aren't traditional W-2s. And so it's just weird. Like I can't imagine that being my first experience with taxes if I'm fucking like 2021 or whatever. And it's you have a bunch of Venmo shit, or you're doing like, I don't know, contract work or whatever. It just seems like a huge pain in the dick. In Canada, you're taxed right out of the paycheck, so it's easier. In Canada, your money's not real, right? So it's all fictional. You know what I'm saying? It's all just hullabaloo, loonies toonies. It's not, don't pretend like we're talking about a real problem here. You're talking about funny money and funny government and like moose and shit. We're talking about a real problem. Please don't interrupt. Please don't interrupt when we're talking about real problems. People are discussing taxes over here and you're talking about loonies and toonies, okay? It's not the same thing. We're not the same. Keep it serious, okay? This is a serious stream for serious people. Ezra Valley for the 16 months. I don't tell the IRS about my tips. Shh. Well, I do. I hate to say this, but I do keep track of every single chatter and everything they say, and I narc on them to any government agency of note. So I will be telling the IRS. Basically, after every stream, I review all the chat logs, and I try to find any evidence of any wrongdoing, and then I take the time on my own personal day to email the correct. It's just a little fun hobby I have, which is like designed to make people's lives a little worse. You know, it's like a fun little goof. You know what's good though is that the government agencies will never do anything about it. I just watched the Bernie Madoff documentary on Netflix. I recommend it, by the way. Pretty good. It's 4-parter. It's a little long, but it is it's actually stunningly well researched and it's pretty good. And it was just funny how there's a guy in there that when Bernie Madoff's fraud was still relatively small, it was like $2 billion. It's not relatively small. He like emailed the SEC, which is the government agency that would be responsible for regulating. And he's like, bro, this shit's a fraud. And it's like obviously a fraud. And here's why it's a fraud. And here's evidence it's a fraud. And there's nobody that has this consistent of returns. And it's a fraud. Please investigate. And they just donut walled him. Straight up hard donut walled him. And then he emailed them again and like sent another fucking official letter like a year later, and then a year later, and then a year later. And each time with more and more evidence. And each time Bernie Madoff's fraud got bigger and bigger. And like it was like clear as day. Like he called it 100%. He laid out the case for them, and they just straight donut walled him 4 times. And then the fraud's finally revealed, and it's like, oh, why the fuck did you guys ignore this? All I know about Bernie Madoff is when Lil Dicky said, "I made off like Bernie." Yeah, you're a fucking grad student. You could teach a class on him, dude. You've got all you needed to know, bro. Yeah, you're well read. Yeah. There it is. When are you playing We Were Here Too with Stans? This week. That's the plan. Me and Stans had a really fun time with We Were Here 1. So we're going to try and do it on Thursday and do the squeakquel. You ever seen the Madoff auction? Rolexes sold for $1K. It's Kind of a steal. I'm not really a Rolex guy though. I don't fuck with it. IWC baby. When are you taking over the Federal Reserve? Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna tap me. After Jerome Powell resigns or retires, his term ends. I think Biden or whoever wins next is gonna have to pick somebody new. I would love if they considered me. I have some really interesting theories. Like we print even more money than before, but we only give it to gamers. Just something I've been thinking about, and maybe would consider me. Can you imagine the entire economy becomes fucking gotcha game pump and dumps? like absurd degrees. Everything is in fucking Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends becomes the third most valuable company in the world. It's like Apple and Raid. Raise interest rate by 10%. I want to see what would happen. The fucking economy would collapse. The government would collapse. There'd be riots in the street. Raise interest rate 10% overnight. People would literally shoot me. They would actually shoot me. If I was Federal Reserve and I literally raised interest rates 10% in one night, there would be a riot and I would get killed. That's not a joke. That would happen, dude. There would be too much damage. It would get views though. True. A central banker that's always on YouTube. Today we're letting the printer sing, baby. Like and subscribe. This happened. Not this dramatically, but interest rates were like right now they're considered dramatically high. Right now it's like, whoa, what the fuck is he doing when they're like 4.5%? But in the 80s, inflation was so bad in the late 70s that this guy named Volcker came along and basically saved the country by cranking interest rates up to 18% to finally end rampant inflation that was getting really out of hand. And it's the largest it's ever been. 18%, dude. That means you can put your money in a fucking bank and get 18% on a year. Yeah, so nobody invested in anything. Anyway, Volcker's the GOAT, but at the time, people always call him the GOAT now. Looking back, anyone that knows about it is like, oh yeah, Volcker was the GOAT. He like saved the fucking financial system. It was really good, blah, blah, blah. But if you look back at how he was talked about at the time, he was fucking hated. Everyone fucking hated him because he's raising interest rates and he was choking off businesses and he was like fucking, and farmers were like rioting on his lawn and he was super duper duper hated. And they were trying to run him out of office. And so, it's just very difficult to actually take the medicine. Raising interest rates is basically taking the medicine and like getting the country back to financial health. And nobody likes it because it makes people fucking, their asset prices go down in the short term. What if it was a Mr. Beast video, though? What do you mean? I printed $6 trillion and I gave it to whoever can stand in this circle the longest. Some fucking random guy in Ohio wins $6 trillion. Instantly, the price of every single thing in his area goes up by it's like $100 million for a gumball. That would be fucking sick, dude. That would be fun. Last one to leave the U.S. wins. Oh, yeah. We'll just print one single $1 trillion USD coin and give it to somebody. I've hid I printed 6 $1 trillion USD coins and hid them across America. The first to find them. How do you print a coin? So you buy Bitcoin, right? And you take a screenshot of it, and then you go to File, Print. And then you hold it. And it's called hodling. And if you hold it aloft above your head high enough and believe strong enough, then the price of that coin will go up. That's called investing. If you guys don't know, I'm just teaching you basics here. So like Wall Street bankers, that's most of their day, is they print out things and they hold them. And the stronger they hold them, it's called diamond hands. Bro, I hate when celebrities post pictures of them holding their paper up. You mean like broke talk? You mean like when a celeb's got like a big fucking wad of hundreds on next to their ear? I think that's hilarious. What's wrong with that, dude? Hello, money calling. It's not you. You know what I'm saying? I didn't look around for a stack of cash. No, I was glancing around my desk at something that could be a facsimile. I'm not looking around for like my fucking wad of hundreds, dude. I'm searching. Dude, I'm broke talk. All I got is a Salil. Hey. Did you see Doja Cat's horrible red dress covered head to toe in crystals? No, and why are you a hater? And why do you think this chat is the one to... I don't care, bro. It sucked. Dude, it was bad. All right, Jesus Christ. Like, now I have to see it. Doja Cat red dress. Oh, wow. Okay, all right. You know what? Okay, wait a minute. This is not what I expected, I'll be honest with you. Let her cook, though. Holy God. I mean, I wouldn't wear it to, like, you know, court. But, like, she's probably at a fashion show, right? It's attention grabbing. She kind of looks like Darth Maul. Yeah, like Darth Maul's sister, which is cool. Looks like an X-Man villain. Yeah, she's like evil. Well, Mystique's already evil. She might even be good Mystique. Who knows? Okay, what time is it? 8:19? Probably 8:30. I jump into wins and fails. Sheesh. But I'm sure we got other stuff to talk about. What's going on? Mystique is good. Isn't she not? No, Mystique killed people for sure. Maybe they retconned it. I didn't see like the teen X-Men or whatever. The fuck X-Men New Generation. I didn't see that one. But original X-Men Mystique was evil. She's symbolizing the economy. Explain that. Speak to that. Give me some insight. How does she symbolize the economy? Oh, by the way, I don't know why I covered Melee stuff here on now, but in case anyone cares, there was a little bit of drama in the Melee scene about Mango's kind of, you know, he kind of lashed out a bit, not in like the best way after getting ranked third. And he wrote a really nice message today where, I don't read the whole thing, but you should definitely read it if you care at all. A really nice message on Twitlonger, basically just saying like, hey, you know, he's been struggling a little bit with his place in the scene and what to do. And he apologized for how he like expressed himself. And And I just thought it was nice. I thought it was well written. And so I hope everything can, everybody can get along. I ain't reading all that, bro. That's like fucking 200 words. Does he really got to make it into a fucking TikTok? It wasn't even that long, bro. If you care and you can't read that much, fuck, that's ridiculous. Where's the Family Guy? Any chance you're gonna sell more hats soon? 100%. 100%. I was yelling at Aiden, dude. I was screaming at him, top of my lungs, punching him, dude. I was doing whatever it took. That's business, baby. I was like, Aiden, we gotta sell Enron hats again. We gotta sell FTX hats. There's like an Enron crew neck that no one's ever seen. That's fucking pretty sick. That we haven't sold. We're trying to get on. The problem is Aiden's really busy. He's busy grinding Slippy so he can get third in the Mogul Moves tournament. Boom! Sheesh! Good goddamn! Making flat bill, please. I will never. I hate flat bills. On God, I hate flat bills. I don't know why I feel so strongly about it. I don't like flat bills at all. Flat bills, whack bills, dude. I just don't wear that shit. No cap. What's a flat bill? It's like when the fucking hat doesn't have the curve, but it's like straight up. Like this is not a flat bill, but a flat bill, like, yeah. Trucker hat? No, trucker hat's isn't this the trucker hat? Or what is this? What is this described as? This is a dad hat. This is a dad hat. Yeah, I like the dad hat. It's a hat. Thanks for your help. No, seriously, thanks for your help. That's awesome. Baseball cap. Yeah, baseball cap. For all us ball players in chat, all us ball players on Team Enron. FTX tuxedo win? Where are you going to wear that, bro? Give me a situation where a full FTX branded tuxedo would be appropriate. Your wedding, jury duty, grandma's funeral, prom, first date, court, every day. Sheesh. Middle school graduation. What's up, Quack? Speaking of drip, dude. Everyone, I want you to know that all of your sub money is going towards Quack buying more fucking rings. Dude's got like 18 fucking rings on. 9 chains. He's drip, dude. So, as long as you know that. Lord of the Rings is what they call him. More rings than LeBron. Bro. A lot of people. There's divorcees that got more rings than LeBron. Fucking Silver Surfer ass. Thoughts on layoffs at Google and Alphabet? Google is Alphabet. You know that? Alphabet is Google. But yes, I'll talk about it. That's in my wins and fails. We're going to get there in a second. Will Rick and Morty fail without Justin Roiland? We can talk about that real quick. Before I jump in, actually, because that's not my wins and fails. What? How the fuck is Rick and Morty going to do a season 7 without Justin Roiland? Justin Roiland, a huge creep, by the way. Huge creep, huge weirdo. The texts are just 100% damning. He seems like a fucking weird fucking person, dude. He's texting fucking really weird hypersexual shit to 16-year-olds. yeah, I'm glad they ended their association with him, but I'm also like a realist. And it's like that show was like 80% his voice. Like not not even just the number of characters voiced by him, but also like in pop culture, it's like the Rick and Morty voice. It's like I just don't know how they're going to do it. I guess, I mean, theoretically, they could find like someone who's an incredible impersonator and then just run it. And then no one would really care. That would be awesome. I guess like we can do the voice. If Chris Pratt, Chris Pratt doing Rick and Morty. That's awesome. No, that's a great idea. No, I didn't think about that. I didn't realize Chris Pratt was available. Can you do Rick and Morty voice? I can't even do my own fucking voice. You hear how my voice is gone? J-Mook has ruined my voice, bro. I scream too much. It's funny. I was in a call. Maybe I shouldn't. It's an off-brand call. Well, I'll just say we were in an off-brand call with somebody else who was also at Genesis, and his voice was completely gone. And we just had a nod. We were both in a call like to each other. Not Scar. No, someone from the crowd who was also screaming for J-Mook. J-Mook is creating a new generation of Sheiks, and I'm all here for it. Cool. You know what that reminds me of? Bro, you know what the most annoying YouTube... This is... I'm not... You're actually, wait. Your message is fine, and I'm with you. You launched me into a different discussion. Your message is fine. Thank you for your message. I agree. Sorry. I want to make clear that I have no problem with your message. But it reminds me of the most common YouTube comment that I see that just triggers me. On every fucking channel, it's like, can we take a moment? You guys have seen this a million times. Can we take a moment and thank this creator for... It's so fucking common. The fucking... Why? It's always like the most upvoted comment. Can we all take a moment? It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. Take a moment and watch the video and then shut the fuck up, dude. Can we take a moment and appreciate all the efforts they put in? It's like the comment has nothing to do with the video. The comment is like so fucking generic. And it's on every creator's video. And it gets 1,000 bazillion upvotes every time. And everyone's like, yes, finally someone said it. And it's like, I guess it's fine because it's not mean. It's in good spirit. But it's so generic that it feels like it has no weight. It has no, you know, like sometimes people have written me nice comments where it's like, I don't know about like, oh, you know what? I was searching for a job and I had a tough moment interview and something you said, just I remembered it and helped me, like something specific. Or like I was watching this, like somebody, I told you the guy in New Zealand, he told me about how he was having like, I don't know, he was having frustrations with dating and dating apps and stuff. And he saw my video on that and it like made him feel, first of all, less alone about it and like understand the larger struggle better. And that was like, it felt really cool. And then someone will just write, can we take a moment and appreciate how much effort he puts into his videos? And it's like a fucking Reddit recap or something, you know? It's like, bro, all I did was fucking, or it's like me watching Community, bro. It's like, what are you talking about? No, this is a copy paste comment that you put in the first 10 seconds. By the way, the comment came out before you could possibly have watched the video. It's like a sleeper cell activation phase, yeah. Get ready to... Yeah, I shouldn't even have brought it up. I have now realized that bringing it up was a massive mistake. But the problem is the catch-22 of streaming, bro. It's like you can't just sit here and stare at the camera. I mean, I would love to just turn on the stream and then do this for an hour, but it turns out you actually have to talk, and then when you talk about things that are interesting or relevant to you, and then when you talk about anything, someone will twist it into a hilarious reverse comment joke. Dane Cook does it. Dane Cook. Dane Cook's got it all figured out, bro. Play Call of Duty silently. Can we just take a moment and appreciate that one time Atrioc stared at us? Yeah, for sure. Okay, it's 8:30, which means me thinks it's time to discuss the world of marketing and business. Do I have what I need? Do I have what I need? Do I have what I need? Not even close. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a timer on the screen. Timer. This is a 5-minute timer. Maybe even less. I'm going to put a song on. What song do we want to put on? Something fucking, something with a little bit of, no, I'm not putting on keys, bro. Pump it up. The jump button, pump it up. All right. This is okay. What game was this in? This is in like Need for Speed Underground or something? It was fucking huge. February 24th, 2023. We're literally living in the future. This is a section of the show called Wins and Fails, where we cover all the wins and fails this week in marketing and business. And unfortunately, in my notes, I always say, start with a win. Start with a win, okay? Open strong so the later fails don't hit so hard because you have some good things to hold on to. But today, we can only start with a fail because one of the greatest fails in marketing history has happened. Ladies and gentlemen, the M&Ms have removed the spokes candies. We deserve this. We are living in hell and we deserve it. America, let's talk. That alone is one of the funniest. The official M&M's Twitter account sitting America down for a serious talk. America, let's talk. In the last year, we've made some changes to our beloved spokes candies. We weren't sure if anyone would even notice. Well, we did. We did. Okay? And we definitely didn't think it would break the internet, but now we get it. Even a candy's shoes can be polarizing, which was the last thing M&M's wanted, since we're all about bringing people together. Technically, they're all about selling sugary pieces of chocolate at a markup to make a big profit for the Mars Corporation. But I get the number two thing is bringing people together. That's number two. Right after that. Therefore, we have decided to take an indefinite pause from the spokes candies. In their place, we're proud to introduce a spokesperson America can agree on, the beloved Maya Rudolph. We're confident Miss Rudolph will champion the power of fun to create a world where everyone feels they belong. And that's what I need M&M's to do for me. It's a heavy task, but I think in the Super Bowl commercial that M&M's are clearly building up for, I think Maya Rudolph in that 30-second spot is going to use the power of fun to create a world where everyone feels they belong. I think that's going to happen. I feel very confident. Maya Rudolph, you don't know, SNL actress, comedian, very talented, been in a lot of funny stuff. But I don't know if she can fill the gaping hole that is in our hearts with the loss of our beloved spokes candies. I'm not sure that she can accomplish that feat. I think it's going to be a real tough challenge for the M&M's Corporation. And it all really started, if you go back to their original change of removing the green M&M's sexy high heels for these lame sneakers. Okay? This is the real fault. Thank God for Tucker Carlson doing his award-winning reporting on this. Let's go back to that clip that really started this all off.
The green M&M, you will notice, is no longer wearing sexy boots. Now she's wearing sensible sneakers. Leading women do not wear sexy boots. Leading women wear frumpy shoes. The frumpier, the better. That's the rule. The other big change is that the brown M&M has, quote, transitioned from high stilettos to lower block heels. Also less sexy. That's progress. M&Ms will not be satisfied until every last cartoon character is deeply unappealing and totally androgynous. Until the moment you wouldn't want to have a drink with any one of them. That's the goal. When you're...
Until the moment you wouldn't want to have a drink with any one of them. And yes, thank you, Tucker. Thank God for Tucker Carlson. Because if he didn't say, I don't know if anyone else was brave enough to. Okay, we all wanted to have a drink with the green or the brown M&M. Okay, because they were appealing. That was the goal of these chocolate candies with faces, to be sexually appealing to us. And now that their footwear has changed, it sends the wrong message. Okay? So thank God this man who's paid millions of dollars a year to cover the news took the chance to speak truth to power. Anyway, unfortunately, instead of acquiescing to his demands and bringing back the high heels that we all want, he instead caused them to cancel the spokes candies altogether. So there really is no happy ending to this story. There really is no happy ending to this story. It's the whitest kids you know sketch. So instead, we'll have to get Maya Rudolph. Now, that remains to be seen. There is one possible win here. This is obviously the biggest fail in marketing history, of course. But there's one possible win here. There is a chance this is part of a coordinated PR stunt to drum up buzz and discussion about the spokes candies so they are brought back in a stunning Super Bowl ad. There is a very real chance that all of this is part of a way to have Maya Rudolph play off of the spokes candies. And if they do that, M&Ms, you have my corporate loyalty for life. But if you even so much as think as showing up with that green M&M, not wearing high heel go-go boots, you're going to have another thing coming. I'm going to be on the front lawn with a pitchfork. Okay? Me and Tucker Carlson in the front. Yeah, I guess that's shocking, but that is probably the biggest story in marketing of the whole week. But I have some more follow-ups to discuss with you. You guys remember our old pal, our old friend, Sam Bankman-Fried. SBF, bro. What's he been up to? We haven't talked about him in a minute. What's been going on with SBF, dude? Ever since he was arrested in the Bahamas, extradited to the United States, and is awaiting trial, he has been living in his parents' multi-million-dollar mansion, technically in custody, but he's been basically just writing Substacks and moving money around, and hopefully they will find him guilty at trial. But until then, I want to give him a huge win, because do you guys know sometimes you put on an old jacket and you find a 20 in the pocket and you're like, wow, what a come up. I didn't know I had this 20. I got a free 20. Isn't that awesome? Well, I just want to say, I like when good things happen to good people. And a really good thing happened to Sam Bankman-Fried the other day, because one second, sorry. Because despite saying, fuck, this is the one I didn't get. Sorry. Hold up. This is it. Okay. There, I found it. Despite saying that he only had $100,000 to his name, somehow, when the government went looking in his coat pockets, they found $699.9 million more. Interesting. That's awesome. What a lucky find. Again, this is another classic oopsie from Sam Bankman-Fried. He is a man who's just goofing around. He doesn't know what's going on with the money. And lucky him, it turns out he actually had $699.9 million more dollars than he said he had publicly. How did that get there? I don't know. But the point is, the government has now seized it, and if he loses this case, they will be taking this $700 million from bank accounts and crypto assets that he's been hiding off of the FTX and Alameda books in his own personal accounts, and they'll be using that to repay FTX creditors. Basically, a number of retail investors who lost their money in FTX. This is good because there's a lot of money owed. How do you fit all those 20s? That's loose change that fell between the couch. Yes, a lot of it, I actually covered this in my earlier videos on Sam Bankman-Fried. I mentioned that if you look at the records of asset transfers, he had like $600 million in Robinhood shares that he had moved off the books, and they finally have tied those to him officially and seized them. So we are going to be seeing a different tune out of him now that these assets have been seized, because he no longer has a lot of money to move around. This guy's the worst villain ever. Yeah. Again, what's funny is a lot of people are extreme doomers, and they say there's no way this guy will ever go to jail. There's just no way. But in my mind, it's almost like there's no way he doesn't because of how stupid he has been. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like even in times where rich people are avoiding crimes, they often throw at least a few of them to the wolves. You know, even Bernie Madoff went to jail. He was the only person in the financial crisis that actually went to jail. And Sam Bankman-Fried is clearly that guy. He is clearly the fall guy for an entire legion of crypto scammers. And hopefully there's more to come. But at the very least, he is for sure going down, just with how obvious his crimes have been. Yeah, he plays Fall Guys. He plays. What does he play? He plays Storybook Brawl. His own personal fucking crypto game. He plays Bronze Q League of Legends. God, you know what's funny is like, even him going to jail and losing $700 million feels like less of a punishment than letting him stay as a Bronze League of Legends hardstuck player. It feels like you're almost rewarding him by taking him out of queue and putting him in jail. That's like a detox. That's like saving his life. I think you let him fucking grind, dude. So anyway, that's the update on SBF, is that his assets been seized. Again, the trial still hasn't happened. He is not currently in jail, though he probably should be. He is serving his waiting time at his parents' multi-million-dollar mansion. But again, the evidence is pretty insurmountable currently, and I think he's going to be facing serious jail time. We'll find out. Now, back to the real economy. The layoff train. Choo-choo! I'll put a positive spin on it. The layoff train has been pulling into the station, bro. Everyone say choo-choo with me. Choo-choo! It's fun. It's fun. The layoffs are serious. But you know what? At least we have a nice win here from this article. With 3 words, Microsoft CEO showed that you can lay off 10,000 people with empathy. You know what? It's fine. It's fine that, tens and hundreds of thousands of people are starting to lose their job because you can lay them off with empathy. The 3 words, by the way, are, I think, transparency and honesty. Cool. Yeah, cool. The 3 words are my bad, bro. My bad, bro. That'd actually be my fault, fam. That'd actually be kind of hype. If you get laid off and the CEO sends you a fucking email, 3 words, my bad, bro. It's on me. It's on me. Yeah, I don't know. This is just happened. Microsoft laid off 10,000 people, and apparently they did it with empathy. But they followed up. Well, I saw this reaction on LinkedIn. Happy to announce I was not impacted by the recent Meta layoffs because I work at Google, a company that would never do this in a million years. Aware. Because the most recent round of layoffs have been at Google, or Alphabet, the parent company. 12,000 jobs. 12,000 jobs laid off at Google. Now, given Google is a company that hired quite dramatically during the pandemic, and so they're still above what they were in 2019 for hiring. But 12,000 people were hired, and I think the way they were fired is the distressing part here, because people who had been with the company for 20 plus years were fired basically when they showed up and their badge didn't work. With it, they were locked out of everything, no notice, no warning, no performance review, just literally kind of locked out of their job instantly. And it was kind of a wake up call to a lot of people who were considered that they part of the corporate culture. They felt like they were buying into the whole Google family thing, and then they just showed up one day and nothing worked and they were locked out and no notice. That being said, I am impressed with Google's severance. They do like quite a few weeks of severance, like, I don't know, was it 16 weeks or something? Something absurd, like a really high amount of severance. So at the very least, I'd rather have that than Microsoft's 3 words of empathy. I'd rather have, quite a few weeks of severance. So yeah, I'll give them that. It's not the worst thing in the world. The thing is, though, this seems like it's just the beginning. Here is a thread. I'm going to give this fail to Christopher Hone, a guy worth $8 billion who's a major investor in Alphabet, Google. And he said, this is a message to the CEO, Sundar Pichai of Google. He said, I am encouraged to see you're taking some action to right-size Alphabet's cost base, which is a fancy way of saying firing people. And I understand it's a never easy decision to let people go. I argued in my previous letter that Alphabet's headcount has grown beyond what is required. The decision to cut 12,000 jobs is a step in the right direction, but it does not even reverse the very strong headcount growth of 2022. Ultimately, management will need to go further. I believe that management needs to reduce headcount to around $150,000 total, which I think, I don't know what Google's total employees, Google total employees. Yeah, I don't know. I think they need to, it would be quite a few more. In particular, he wants to, the worst part is he says, we should also take this opportunity to address excessive employee compensation. See, corporations are seeing sharks in the water. As they are seeing layoffs from other tech companies all around the space, they're seeing an opportunity to cut pay. The median salary at Alphabet amounted to nearly $300,000. Competition for talent in the technology industry has fallen significantly, allowing Alphabet to materially reduce compensation per employees. In particular, Alphabet should limit stock-based compensation. I hope to have further dialogue. He wants 38,000 more cuts. Yeah, that's what he wants. So he wants to fire 38,000 more people and limit the pay of current employees. This is a guy who owns quite a few billion in Google stock. So he wants basically his own value to go up and the employees' value to go down. And I'm afraid this is not an uncommon trend among tech companies now in Silicon Valley, and I think will be spreading into the broader economy. Bit of a scumbag move, but I'm just keeping you informed with what's going on. It remains to be seen if there's going to be impact, though, with these companies. Again, a lot of them are expecting to keep their revenue growth and earnings growth that I don't think they will. The layoffs continued at the Washington Post, which laid off a much more manageable 20 journalists. The reason I bring this up is not because 20 journalists getting fired is a massive story, because, again, journalism is already in a tough spot, but that a large portion of these journalists covered the games industry, which I thought was pretty short-sighted. As we've talked about on this stream many times, the games industry is actually like just one of, like, if you have movie reviewers or movie editors or people covering the arts and you don't have people covering games, you're actually just missing out on by far the biggest industry. Gaming is now bigger than like Hollywood, music, comics, like 3 other things formed to be combined. And so it was interesting and short-term decision, but I looked into it and there may be a situation where the owner of Washington Post, Jeff Bezos, doesn't really care anymore because there's a chance that he's done with his toy. You see, in 2018, when Washington Post was bought by Jeff Bezos, he said, it is the newspaper in the capital city of the most important country in the world. It has an incredibly important role to play in this democracy. There's no doubt in my mind about that. And that was really high-minded and powerful. And then 2 years later, or 4 years later, it seems like he cares more about football. It seems more like he's going to just drop this like a hot potato because it hasn't made that much money and is now going to buy the Washington Commanders instead, which is much more important to our democracy. The Amazon Commanders. That being said, the previous owner was pretty much, I've heard from Stans, the previous owner of what was the Redskins is basically a piece of shit and did a terrible job. And so Jeff Bezos can make some easy money turning this around. Football teams are pretty profitable. We will see. We will see. We will see. Jeff Bezos could be doing this. This has not yet been confirmed, by the way. This is an unconfirmed report, but there are a lot of people floating this rumor around that he's shopping for it. Democracy dies in the huddle. It's actually a fire quote, dude. That's actually a fire. I give you fucking comment of the day, dude. That's hype. That's a good one. In fact, the only tech company that has yet to do layoffs really is Apple. Apple remains the last real stalwart. Now, a lot of companies will say they're not doing layoffs, but if you look around, what we're actually seeing is a huge pattern of aggressive, what you might call stack ranking, harsh performance reviews, forcing people out, forcing people to move jobs or offices so they can quit organically. A lot of companies are finding ways around using the layoffs term, but are harshly cutting their workforce in this way. And Apple is the only one that has remained unable to do that. And that is because Apple is a company that still has more money than God. Tim Cook, also, to his credit, unlike the AMC CEO who froze his pay at elevated rates, Tim Cook actually took a personal $50 million pay cut, which is admirable. I gotta say, no one asked him to do this. He easily could have not taken it. Apple's crushing and making tons of money. He took a $50 million pay cut, and in general, Apple hasn't done layoffs. Now, let's be honest though. It is easier to be charitable when you are extraordinarily rich. And it is easier for Apple to not have to lay off employees when they are currently worth more than Coca-Cola, Starbucks, Nike, Walmart, ExxonMobil, AT&T, Visa, Disney, McDonald's, Ford, and Netflix combined. Okay? Apple is the most valuable company in the world, and literally is just printing money, has a huge like $50 billion cash reserve. So they are able to be a little more flexible with jobs in a way that other tech companies, even other tech companies aren't. Might be wrong, but other execs took pay cuts at Apple. Yeah, I think the executive team has handled it well. Again, over the past 2 years of absolute mania in the tech markets, where CEOs were doing all sorts of unsavory things and companies were making a lot of dumb decisions, Tim Cook has been the adult in the room. I have been honestly deeply impressed over his entire tenure, but especially in the past couple of years when it would have been easy to greenlight, I don't know, Apple NFTs or Apple crypto, a bunch of things. There's a lot of things he could have done. He didn't do any of it. Apple has been pretty smart, focused on their bag and focused on delivering the same things they're good at. And they've done pretty well. Tim Cook has been the adult in the room. So I give him credit, even though they are way, way, way too wealthy. And the Apple Store is a huge, huge monopoly. When are we getting the Apple crypto self-driving NFT car? In fact, they actually just recently canceled their plans to build AR glasses. Not canceled, but at least infinitely delayed. They were going to build something to beat Meta, and they realized they don't need to. Apple was working on their own glasses to maybe kind of kick Meta out of the fucking market. But it turns out Meta's beating themselves, and nobody needs to do anything. So they're just cutting back. Tim Cook. We're working on a car. Tim Cook was working on, or Apple was working on a self-driving car to compete with Tesla, another high end of the EV market. They've also postponed that for quite a few years, believing it to not be ready. So again, they're just focusing on phones and making tons of money. The Apple iPhone is like the best, most profitable product in the history of products. And they can just focus on that for the short term. But I want to give an actual win. In all this discussion of layoffs, all this discussion of stack ranking, all this discussion of companies, taking this time, this moment in time in this period to really cut costs and cause a lot of shock and pain to average workers. I want to give a win to this guy, Brian Birmingham, who literally chose to leave his own job at Blizzard Entertainment rather than give an undeservedly low employee evaluation. He was required by management, and again, apparently, according to my looking into this, it comes from even higher than the president of Blizzard, Mike Ybarra. It comes from the Activision level, who have said from the top down that all teams have to cut employees, and they have to basically stack rank all their employees and give the bottom ones bad reviews, no matter what, so they can be fired. And this guy literally chose to leave his own job rather than do that, which is actually incredibly personally brave. And I'm pretty impressed with. He tweeted himself, "I wasn't intending to make this public, but apparently it's in the news already. So I'd like to set the record straight. I am no longer an employee of Blizzard Entertainment, though I would return if I was allowed to, so I could fight the stack ranking policy from the inside." Everyone at Blizzard I've spoken to about this, including my direct supervisors, expressed disappointment about this policy. So again, Giga Chad, honestly, super impressed. But it doesn't seem like they're going to stop this policy. He should not have had to do that. He should not have to leave his own job to stop himself from giving a employee that doesn't deserve it a bad review. But I just want to shout out someone who's really stuck to their morals. It's hard to do in an environment like this, and I wouldn't blame anybody for not doing it. You know, if you need your job, you have to keep your job. That's just the way it is. But the guy really stuck to it. So big W. And people are saying in the chat, unionize. And I want to bring this, that's why it's the next topic of my video is I want to give a win to the concept of unionization in video games. There's actually a pretty great newsletter this morning from the New York Times talking about efforts by people in the games industry to unionize. Because as it turns out, if you follow the logic of what we said so far, the games industry is fucking massive. It is making more money every single year. It is bigger than Hollywood. It is bigger than the music industry. It's a dominant cultural force. In fact, I believe right here we can see about 2/3 of Americans, most of them adults, play video games. It's worth $200 billion in 2021, more than music, U.S. book publishing, and North American sports combined. It's bigger than the entire sports industry, combined with the music industry. When you watch the halftime show and think, wow, there's a lot of money involved in this, both from music and NFL, realize that all of that is smaller than games. And yet, the average games employee is not paid proportionally to the value they generate. So, a lot of people are starting to begin unionization efforts, and I think now is a good time to make those motions because the games industry is only going to get more powerful. The workers have done all of the creation, all the value creation, and should get a bigger chunk of the profits. So anyway, follow this story, but I'm giving a win to people who are making this move. There's a lot of people that are doing this. I'm giving a win to people who are moving to organize. Okay. Anyway, continuing. Sorry. Close this. Now people, sorry, I that was a win for people who are moving to organize in the games industry. That's a win, but not all parts of the games industry maybe deserve the money or the valuations they were at. And I want to take a moment and give a sad fail to the concept of the phrase phase up. because phase up clearly does not apply to their stock price, which hit a high of $20 per share and now 5 months later is under $1 and trending to maybe even be delisted from the stock exchange. Despite all of their talk about their growth and their valuation and basically pumping the stock to their youthful, uninformed audience, the company does not have the revenues or the value generated to even have been listed in the first place. I mean, I looked at the books for this company yet again, And while it makes some money, I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't. Again, they recently announced a FaZe Clan and Porsche multi-year partnership. This is real. This is a real big brand paying good money in the low millions to be part of FaZe. The problem is, when you look at it again and again, FaZe makes no money because they spend so much on either acquiring talent, they spend millions to get some big guy to sign with FaZe, or worse, executive compensation. Millions and millions of dollars go to the fucking executives of FaZe who do, as far as I can tell, jack shit. As far as I can tell, they don't really do much. The talent does most of the work. The executives do almost nothing, and they get a huge multi-million-dollar paycheck. So, this company is headed in a really bad direction because it's yet to make a profit despite having, like 14 million in sponsorship revenue, something decent. It's just not worth its already low valuation, and I think it's headed to being delisted. I don't think it's going to be disappearing. FaZe has enough brand equity that someone would buy it out at worst, but I think it'll go back to being private relatively soon because this is a terrible look. So I will give the fail to FaZe Clan. Unfortunate. Really sad of me to say, given how much I love FaZe. I'm a long time. I submit for the FaZe 5 every time. They never pick me up for some reason. I don't know if it's my age or what. I really should be part of the FaZe 5. I don't know. Okay. But I wanted to say, sorry, the whole situation is a fail, but I do have to give a win to the Sentinel's social media manager. Because this remains probably the best thing to come out of esports in a long time. FaZe Clan tweeted, "What is the hardest video game to go pro in?" And Sentinels tweeted, "Stock Market Simulator." It is actually one of the greatest roasts to come between two teams in a fucking minute, bro. It actually rolled and smoked. And again, this is really, this constantly declining value for FaZe is a bad look. See, esports in general is all going through a really rough patch because the era of free money is over and no esports team really made money. But the cool thing was, prior to FaZe Clan going public, you kind of hide that. Again, TSM has been claiming they have a $100 million valuation for a very long time now, despite the fact that all of their sources of income, FTX, have imploded. It's all based on one Forbes estimate from an article, over a year ago. And so, but they can go around and shop that around and pretend to be worth more than they are. But FaZe Clan cannot. FaZe Clan's valuation is constantly public and it's updated every second of every trading day. So it's a very bad look for them when they're trying to pretend to be a bigger company than they are, and it's constantly shrinking. But okay, wait a minute. What is this? As I wrote, this says, oh. But I have an investor. I want to give a win because I found FaZe Clan a new investor, a guy who's just the perfect man for the job. And it's a New York oil tycoon whose track record is the following. First, he lost billions of dollars investing in Enron, then put his money with Bernie Madoff, then went to a safe haven with Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX. And I think this man needs to finally take the rest of his oil money and put it with FaZe Clan, dude. I think he's due. I think he can turn this all around. The rare triple whammy, bro. Although this is a good opinion. If you hit the Enron, Madoff, FTX trifecta and you are still a tycoon, you're a goddamn legend. Or you're someone who owns oil fields. The point is, you got to be real rich to hit those three and still be cooking. Yeah, the rare financial hat trick. Okay, speaking of gaming, again, back to the gaming world, I want to say a huge win to The Last of Us. Because the concept of, hey, make a good show, and then suddenly good things will happen to the brand is working. Last of Us has caused the game sales to spike. Again, this is a pattern we've seen repeated over and over again in recent years. When Riot Games made Arcane, it's another recent example. I think even Cyberpunk Edgerunners, yeah. Cyberpunk Edgerunners, Riot Games Arcane. When they make a really good show about a property, it can literally turn a brand around or bring a lot of new people into the franchise. Cyberpunk has literally went from a like Voldemort style word that nobody wants to say because it has such a bad launch to like, hey, I'm pretty excited about their upcoming DLC, largely because of Cyberpunk Edgerunners. So, again, all this means is that there's a reward for making good content that actually appeals to the audience that liked the game, and that we're going to see more of it. It's good when something good gets rewarded financially, because then usually you see more good stuff. So I'll give a dub to that. Now I want to give a fail. Speaking of finances, I want to give a fail to a particular person. I want to give a fail to any idiot out there who thought it was worthwhile to spend $5,000 to go see the Star Wars themed hotel as soon as it released, because it turns out that the same thing that every human being said, which is that this costs too much, just wait, there's no way, was actually right. Turns out that was actually correct, and within 1 year of launching this $5,000 per package Star Wars themed hotel, they are of course slashing prices because they can't fill the rooms. Interesting. So I'm going to have to take the L on this one. Even though I had a good time in my windowless bunker for $5,000, I do recall thinking it perhaps could have cost a little less. And a little less is what it currently costs. So right now, they lowered the prices by about $700 per package. And I've seen bookings through, I believe, the summer, maybe end of June. So we'll see what happens after that point, if they continue to lower prices or not. But right now, they're sort of realizing this big investment has not paid for itself and has become a bit of a headache on the Disney side. Disney's pricey Star Wars bet may be in big trouble. The Mouse House has made a big mistake with one of its signature properties. Yikes. Only a rare few will have gotten to experience the 5K package. Well, my understanding is they haven't changed the package. They just changed the price. It's like all the fucks that bought a Tesla the week before they cut the price by $10,000. Do you know there was literal riots in China about that? Like, they started showing up in mass at Tesla stores angry. Every Tesla customer was like, what the fuck? We bought it for more than 10K a week ago, and then everyone gets a cut. People were pretty pissed. Because also it ruins your resale value, right? You buy a car and you assume maybe you can resell it for a certain amount. Now it's instantly worth $10,000 less, and you didn't get the money. You know what is a win, though? And that's saving money. With Rocket Money. Let's go! Thank you again to Rocket Money for their consistent support of Marketing Monday. Take full control of your subscriptions with Rocket Money. Basically, Rocket Money is an app where you can link your bank account. It'll instantly pop up icons for every single thing you're subscribed to. And you can see all your subscriptions in one spot and then cancel them easily from the app. It is one of the best ways to see and cancel all of your different recurring bills. It's easy to lose track of all the recurring things that are being charged on your account. For me, it is in literally the dozens because I sign up for very, very, very many media websites to read articles and then forget about it. So it's very good. You can cancel things, trim your monthly costs. Check it out with rocketmoney.com/Atrioc or use the link in the description below. Thanks again to Rocket Money for supporting Marketing Monday. Another way to make money, by the way, is to get a bunch of chickens and lay eggs or smuggle them. Egg smuggling cases are doubling at the U.S.-Mexico border as prices of eggs skyrocket. Inflation has hit one good most of all, and that is eggs. For whatever reason, a dozen eggs is now doubling or tripling in costs in a lot of places. And if you want to make money, find a way quickly to get a hold of some eggs. Instead of seizing drugs at the border, we are now seeing eggs being seized, which is kind of crazy. I want to do a quick follow-up on AI. Again, I mentioned in my predictions that I think this is going to be the year of AI. And we're going to see a lot of new stuff every week in the world of AI. And we are. Two things I wanted to point out that were kind of crazy in this past week. Wins or fails, you decide, are this. This is an AI job. This crazy stuff I do at work. At Flawless AI, he is helping edit
we're stuck
films.
on this stupid tower in the middle of nowhere.
Edit films with AI so they can remove curse words so they can get a lower rating instead of R rating. And more importantly,
I don't blame you, and now we're stuck.
To translate the mouth movements into foreign languages so that it matches with the actual words, which is actually pretty cool. Watch this.
Stuck on this stupid freaking tower in the middle of freaking nowhere. And it's
PG-13. Look, the lips match the Spanish and the Japanese.
Now we're stuck on this stupid tower.
That's actually kind of crazy. I mean, most of the world watches Hollywood films dubbed, and this is going to dramatically improve their experience and realism when watching the film. It's kind of crazy. And this is a real example of AI already being used in the workplace, happening right now in early January. Another thing that is, I guess I'll call that a win. That's kind of a straight win, just because I think it improves the product quality for a lot of people across the world. But what is less of a win is that ChatGPT in the past week has passed all of the tests required for both medical licenses and business degrees. In fact, GPT-3 would have gotten a B or a B- on the MBA Wharton final exam. That is, B's get degrees, baby. By the way, that is better than what I got on my ASU undergraduate final exam. And I had a fairly lucrative career. So this is a worry for all knowledge workers everywhere. That many licenses and degrees that we sort of rely on. Again, the United States medical licensing exam, a 3-part exam, was also passed by ChatGPT. And he got a marginal pass, again, just a marginal pass on a GMU law and economics exam. GPT-4, likely will do even better. So we're in a situation where many of our licenses can be passed. And again, this is no surprise, because it turns out, as many of you already know, students are already using ChatGPT on their own final exams every single day. A survey among Stanford students indicates that a very large chunk of them use ChatGPT on their final exams. And many of you in the chat also did. So we're in a situation where we didn't need this test to know, because humans are already using ChatGPT to do the very same thing across everything. I used it on my homework. No. So it remains to be seen what the long-term implications of this are, but in the short term, everyone's happy with their grades. And that's a good thing. We'll take that as a win. Now, I'm moving a little slowly here, so I need to move quickly. Let me get to actually what I think are one of the major economic stories of the day, and we'll round that out with a little bit of geopolitics. If you guys don't know, let's give a win for partnering up. Let's give a win for friends working together. And that is, of course, the good friends of Brazil and Argentina, who are starting preparations to make their own currency, basically a Latin American euro. Now, the only problem here is that I've seen it described as a Latin American euro is like a euro where every country is Greece. The problem is, outside of maybe Brazil, almost every Latin American country has very serious debt and inflation problems. So tying them all into one currency doesn't make it a better currency. And in fact, even though it's only two countries right now, Argentina is extremely economically fucked. Argentina currently has something like 100% inflation. Inflation approaching 100%. Because their central bank in Argentina prints money like it's going out of style in a way that, I feel like even we aren't. And we love printing money. During current President Alberto Fernandez's first 3 years in office, he's been in office for 3 years. In the past 3 years, the president of Argentina has quadrupled the amount of money in public circulation. For every I think it's peso, Argentinian peso. There is now 3 more. He quadrupled it. That's how much money they printed in 3 years, which means the currency is worthless. And so why does Brazil want to be involved with Argentina? And the answer is influence. It turns out that if you look at the countries that are strong in these kind of blocks, like Germany in the euro, the strong countries that are like the stable exporting creditor countries suddenly get a lot of influence over the other smaller debtor countries because they're tied to the same currency. And Brazil wants to be the dominant regional influence in South America. And so they get that, and then Argentina gets a bailout from their terrible economic system. It could be a win-win. It could also be a massive, massive lose-lose. It remains to be seen. Now, this is part of a larger trend of countries across the world trying to get out from under the thumb of the dollar. The dollar is an extremely powerful tool for the American government because everybody needs it to buy oil. So they get the dollar, and the United States can keep printing money and exporting their inflation globally. And everyone's trying to get out from underneath it. Now, will this happen soon? I don't think so, because the euro took 35 years to make, and this is just starting now. But I think it is part of a larger trend to get out under the thumb of the dollar, and eventually it's going to be a big problem in the United States. Once people figure out how to not use the dollar, it'll be a big problem, but in the short term, it feels like kind of a bad idea. Speaking of inflation, I just want to give one final example before signing off, and that is an example of inflation gone wrong. If you guys don't know, Lebanon is a country experiencing such bad inflation right now that this guy ordered a coffee at 10:30 a.m. and then a second coffee at 1 p.m. And in that time, he got 2 different charges. The price is changing during his lunch. That is how bad the Lebanese currency is inflating. This is happening right now. Okay? So I want you to know that, like, a lot of people seem like, why do we raise interest rates? Why can't we just have good times with the stock market and everything pumped? Like, why do we need to have the short-term pain to stop inflation? And it's because inflation is, if left unchecked and it gets rampant, will just ruin a country. It'll just absolutely ruin a country. So I support higher interest rates for longer. Okay, finally, let's close the segment with a look at our good friend Xi Jinping in China.
What's up, Beijing?
What's up, Beijing? What is going on in China? Again, there's a lot going on, but I will give you a few high-level details. The main thing that I wanted to bring up is the story of... Sorry, wait. Dude. Fucking 900 tabs, bro. Just play What's Up Beijing and get in your mind. Imagine him saying, "Was at Beijing" over and over and over again. Okay? Just imagine it. Imagine it, imagine it, imagine it. Keep imagining. He's still saying it. It's hilarious. He's saying it again and again and again. Is this it? Fucking shit balls. Dude, I have like 600 tabs. Oh, here it is. Thank God. Okay. All right. I want to talk about the app. The app Didi in China. This is sort of the big story right now, is that Didi is the Uber of China. It is a ride-hailing app, and it has something like 550 million users in China alone. They use it for taxis, ride sharing, bike sharing, etc. They also do a little bit of financial loans around cars. It's massive. They do $20 billion in revenue. And the story of what happened to them is quite interesting because on June 10th of, I believe, last year or 2020, I think it was 2021. On June 10th, they decided they wanted to raise money and they were going to do it in America. They were going to list Didi as a stock on the New York Stock Exchange. Alibaba has done this. A few other companies have done this. And China did not want them to. China was very mad that Didi would not list on the Shanghai Stock Exchange instead of the New York. And so the second Didi listed in New York and ignored China's warnings, they were suddenly and mysteriously investigated for data breaches. Okay? And it became an 18-month-long investigation where every single one of their apps was banned from all stores in China. For some reason, Didi was immediately frozen. And, that cratered the value of the company. Cratered it. And so almost immediately they abandoned their plan. They delisted themselves from the New York Stock Exchange, which fucked over every investor who bought into their stock. And they relisted on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, which they've now done. And finally, after 18 months, they have been allowed to reopen. Basically, they've been allowed to have their apps back on the stores. The government probe is over, and now they're listed in China, and it's considered okay. Which is, I guess, fine, except also, right after that, China has created their own official government Strong Nation app. Now, right now, this is only for government employees, but the Strong Nation app is a ride-hailing app that is owned by the Chinese government. It's just interesting that the second this app is ready to go, they allow Didi to run again. So again, I am just a little worried about investing in some of these Chinese equities, just given the chance of the government to kind of step in and move things over. That being said, there is sort of a mania happening right now. A lot of them are starting to spike. Alibaba is having its best month in a long time. Let's see. Yeah, look. 30% in the last month. Again, there's a lot of money flowing back into Chinese equities, as it seems to be that China is stepping back on its crackdowns on tech. But at any moment, they could sort of come back to it. So it's kind of a little bit iffy. And they have begun to take what's called golden shares. Golden shares, which is what's happening. China has found a new way to control tech companies, which is that they acquire shares, like small chunks of each company that have enormous oversight into the company's boards and goings on and everything else. So they can sort of keep an eye on everything while owning a small chunk of the company. So we'll see how it shakes out, but that's what's happening. The big story of this week was Didi being actually allowed to operate again and continue its sort of dominance of the Asian Uber market. We'll see where it goes, but that, for now, is This Week in Marketing and Business and This Week in Wins and Fails. Thank you for watching. Now I think we watch Shark Tank, or we fucking Community, or actually I have a really fun video I thought I wanted to watch. We got some shit to do, bro. Oh, you know what we should do is play the, let's pretend that was a YouTube video. And let's vibe for a second.
check it.
Forgot how much that song fucking bangs, dude. That song just has a great vibe to it. Gets you pumped. Oh, dude, I forgot. Wait, one more. Oh my God, dude, I forgot the big story. I knew there was a big story in China that I forgot. I was like, dude, I was like floundering. I was floundering because I was like, wait, there was something after Didi. I forgot, dude. Okay, wait, one more. I'm sorry. Dude, dude, forget about Didi, actually. Forget about Didi. There literally was an ultimate fail. The biggest tragedy of all in the world of China, okay? And that is due to an ongoing negotiation between NetEase and Blizzard. Chinese gamers can no longer play World of Warcraft, Hearthstone, or any other Blizzard game. And they are literally crying all night. See, the thing that happens is no foreign company is really allowed to just set up shop in China on their own. They need to have a local partner that owns half the business. For example, Disney does not own Shanghai Disney. Disney owns 49% of a company that owns Shanghai Disney. 51% is owned by local Chinese. So Blizzard was not allowed to publish their own games in China. They needed a local partner, and the local partner was this company called NetEase. NetEase handled the publishing of World of Warcraft, Hearthstone, etc. in China. Now, the problem is, during their recent negotiations, as their contract expired and they're making a new one, they could not agree on a fair term sheet of basically how much of a cut Blizzard gets and how much NetEase gets. And so in response, Blizzard has pulled all of their games from China. And we will see how this lasts or how long this lasts or who comes in. But for now, all of the players of World of Warcraft and other games in China are, I don't know why, you know what's funny is this is League of Legends. Bro, this video is League of Legends. What an own to Blizzard. This is why we need journalists who know games, bro. This is why you can't fire the fucking 5 journalists that know about games. Blizzard's getting owned. Dude, they're putting on fucking Riot Games. That's so funny. Yeah. So anyway, Chinese players are extremely mad, and it remains to be seen who will break first, NetEase or Blizzard. I don't know. I have no idea how this will pan out, but one of them should eventually cave because everyone's so mad about this. But the longer it goes on, the more Chinese netizens find different game replacements for Blizzard's games. So it could be a long-term bad thing. When I woke up, I didn't want to accept it. I cried all night in my sleep because the game went offline. I dreamt that I was crying in the middle of the class. World of Warcraft was my first love. I can't really forget it. Listen, seeing gamers hurts me. It's been a 14-year partnership. Yikes. So we'll see. We'll follow this post up in a following Marketing Monday to tell you what's going on. But for now, have some love for the forlorn Chinese gamers out there who already have hours restricted and now just want to play some goddamn... They want to grind some Hearthstone or they want to grind some WoW, okay? Have some love. Keep in your thoughts. And that is the end of Marketing Monday. Thank you again for watching. Okay, cool. They still have Diablo Immortal. That's like saying... Dude, that's like saying there's no food. We still have fucking rat shit. No, there's still rat shit in the corner. We still have Burger King. I don't know. Burger King or rat shit, dude. I don't even know which one I'd pick.
Check it. Oh, I think I got the fever. I'm heated. Pumping up the meter. Roll me a ringleader, bad party bleeder.
I will say, hey, as much as you guys were hating on the song, it's become quite popular. The song has been effective. The ad campaign is working, dude. People are memeing it. They're talking about it. They're playing it everywhere. Like, it's actually done a pretty decent job. I guarantee a lot of people are trying Burger King. The problem is they have not paired it with the restaurant redesigns for cleanliness and better food. If they had actually comboed it with a better food and a restaurant redesign, this campaign could have been a smash hit, dude. But I just feel like no one's going to stick around. I gave it an honest shot, and the food was so shit. That was the worst chicken sandwich I've had in a fucking 10 years. I love BK. Bro, I'm just telling you, live on stream, I watched the ad, thought it was kind of catchy, decided to try it out, ordered Burger King, ate it live on stream, and it was honest to God bad. And I've done that with Popeyes and had a great experience. I tried my first Popeyes chicken sandwich on stream and had a great time. It was just bad. It was bad. It was straight up bad. I have no reason to lie, dude. I gave it an honest shot. It's because you didn't get the burgies. Maybe the Whopper. I'll give it to you that I have not tried the Whopper. They're not Chicken King. Okay, fine. But if they're going to offer it, why make it so shit? You know what I'm saying? McDonald's chicken sandwich isn't that bad. They're not Chicken King, bro. All right, touche. The point is it was just bad. It tasted like shit. Does anyone have any very interesting YouTube videos that we could watch real quick before I jump over? I think I will watch Community, only because it's kind of like eating your vegetables. I want to like start making progress on season 4 so we can get to season 5. Let me take submissions. If you have an interesting... Oh, wait. What the hell? Did my Get Smarter Saturdays dashboard die? Oh, no. No. Did Ari break it? It wouldn't work when Ari tried it either? Interesting. I'm angry. I'm Madge, dude. It's the year of Madge. I like to use my Get Smarter Saturday dashboard. Hey, Pay, you're in chat. Can you remember the guy who made it and we could reach out and see what's up? Do you have his name? I really like that dashboard. It's like a super convenient to get videos from chat. What is this? Science diagrams that look like memes with Wii music fixed. This is what you want to watch? So stupid. Aerodynamics of a lobster. That's it. Wow. That was... It was called...
Imagine a sprawling...
It was called Tolosa, America's $400 billion future city. I wanted to see what the fuck it was. I never heard of this. Supposed to be this fucking gorgeous city in 2030. What the fuck is it? There's no way it's going to really happen, but I want to see.
Imagine a sprawling metropolis in the middle of the American desert west, complete with futuristic infrastructure.
Bro, I mean, literally, we can't even build Elon's fucking tunnel, dude. We're really gonna build a fucking $400 billion future beautiful city where everything's great. There's just no shot. There's no fucking shot. But I want to see. I want to watch this video.
And carefully planned roads and streets filled with autonomous electric vehicles. A city that combines the sprawl and diversity of New York, the efficiency and connectivity of Tokyo, and the governance and sustainability of Stockholm. An insane multi-billion-dollar plan to create a futuristic city similar in scale and ambition to Saudi Arabia's The Line. Today,
not gonna
we'll
make
be
the
taking
line,
a look
bro.
at the future city of Telosa, America's version of The Line. The city of Telosa is a planned development that promises to not just be the city of the future, but also to be a completely new model for society. In a similar vein to mega projects like Saudi Arabia's Neom, these planned megacities are a response to the emerging problems of today's world, such as overpopulation, pollution, and climate change. These future cities aim to redefine what it means to create a thriving city from scratch that is designed to be sustainable, resilient, inclusive, and equitable for all of its residents. The name Telosa comes from the ancient Greek word telos, which can roughly be translated to the greatest purpose. First unveiled to the public in September 2001, Telosa is the brainchild of American billionaire Mark Lohr.
Oh, good.
Shortly after stepping down
Good.
as president and CEO of American retail powerhouse Walmart, Lohr
Oh. Cool. No, that's the right guy for the job. That's cool. No, I want to live in the Walmart city. I'm sure this guy's got it all figured out. I'm sure equitable will be the name of the game over from Mark Lohr at Walmart.
announced his ambitious goal to create the planned city
This
of
is literally BioShock, bro. This is BioShock, but he doesn't even finish the fucking job. The city's not even gonna get built.
Telosa. Through his visionary project, he aims to create a more equitable and sustainable future that can become the blueprint of future generations. In charge behind the master planning of Telosa will be world-renowned Danish architect Bjarke Ingels, who has
Bjarke!
previously been commissioned by Toyota to create a smaller, smart future city in Japan. The core concept behind Telosa, and the reason as to why it's being planned in the first place, according to Lohr, is to create a city with the needs of the people serving as its foundation.
To focus on what's most important, culture, values, and really putting people at the center.
As it stands, more than 50% of the world's population currently
Telosa lore.
lives in cities. This figure is expected to increase to as much as 70% by the year 2050. Because of this, cities have become important centers for education, research, and
I think we just got there are 6 new megacities. Megacities defined as a city with 10 million residents. There's 6 candidates. Chicago, Bogota, Luanda, Chennai, Baghdad, and Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. These are the companies that are close to becoming, these are the closest to becoming the new megacities by 2030. Sheesh. Shy City, dude. Just a cool little fact.
economic opportunities for millions of people. And although cities have brought much growth to a few handful of individuals, not everyone directly benefits from the development. This increasing wealth gap is precisely what Lohr and Telosa are trying to solve. The goal is to build a city wherein everyone will have equal opportunities for growth.
I just don't believe it. I don't believe that the CEO of Walmart decided to build a fucking perfect city that's going to work, dude. I just don't believe it. I'm sorry. I'm not even cynical. I just don't. I think someone maybe could do it. I don't think you could do it. I don't think you're the man for the job. I think you're bringing in inherent biases with your billions that will give you a privileged position. I don't think it'll be equitable.
No matter their socioeconomic or cultural background. To achieve this vision of equality, at the heart of the plan is an economic system known as equitism. The idea behind this system is to create a community wherein the people...
Damn, they're playing SimCity, dude. The Lore Institute. Bro, you know, it's not even the lore. It's his name, Mark Lore. Bro, if we're starting with your equitable city and you're already naming the fucking institute after yourself, it's a bad look. Honestly, put Cutie in charge. It's going to look like the fucking Candyland, bro. If Cutie designs the city, it's going to be fucking cake towers.
To create a community wherein the people will directly benefit from the growth of the city. In this system, Tolosa will own all of the city's land, while its citizens are given the freedom to build and sell homes on top of this land. Ideally, as the city grows, land value...
What does that mean? The freedom. They own all the land. You can never own your own land. Okay, that's what I'm noticing. That's what I'm taking. And then you have the freedom to build on top of it. What does that mean? Because they own it. So does the freedom mean you can choose to do it? Or they choose when you do it and can choose when to take it away? That's what it sounds like to me. It looks like you don't have the freedom at all. I don't see what the freedom is if they own all the land, dude. I don't see that.
Values will also grow alongside it. These generated funds will then be invested back into the city through public services, transportation, education, and healthcare, thus fulfilling the vision of equity, wherein all citizens have equal access to high-quality services. Although the final location for the city of Tolosa has not been decided...
There's three options here. One, it never happens, which I think is the most likely because it's extremely expensive. This guy's a billionaire, but he's not that much of a billionaire. And I think funding for this is going to dry up and it's just not going to get finished. I think that's number one. Number two, it's a fucking dystopia, right? It doesn't come together at all. It's a complete fucking hack. Kind of like Tesla's fucking boring company tunnel that there's nothing for traffic, wasted a bunch of taxpayer money, did nothing. That's number two. It's terrible. Number three is it's fucking that Matt Damon movie, Elysium, where it's basically just a fucking tiny little community for rich people, where they come and they live and nobody who's poor is even allowed to enter. And they say it's equitable because it's all rich people. Those are the three options. I don't see a world where it actually works.
The people behind it are planning to build the city on desert land in the American West, in the states of Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Arizona, or Texas. Another consideration is for the city to be built somewhere
they
around
haven't even
the
picked where to
Appalachian
build it
region,
yet?
over in the east. But
bro, you just listed half the country. You said it could be Texas, or it could be Appalachia, or it could be the West. You haven't even picked a half of the country to put it in.
out of all the available land in the United States, why are they planning to build Tolosa in the middle of the desert? One of the main reasons for this decision is that there is plenty of cheap and readily available undeveloped land in the American West. And with Tolosa's plan of reimbursing increasing land values back into city services, this cheap land has the potential to pay for itself as the city grows over time. Although the land for Tolosa's eventual construction may come at a relatively cheap price, building a bustling metropolis in the middle of the desert isn't exactly the most ideal or even smartest undertaking. Saudi Arabia's recent construction on Neom...
By the way, I just want to point out the inherent Ponzi there, where all public services are only funded by increasing land values. This is sort of how China did it, with local governments being only funded by increasing land values that they sold. But eventually, the land values stop going up, and then suddenly you can't fund your public services. Do you understand? It's not infinite. It's a fucking Ponzi, because eventually, if the land doesn't keep going up, you suddenly can't do anything. And then, if there's no public services, the land values actually go down. So then you have a reverse cycle where everything's fucking collapsing. So...
and the line have clearly showcased these problems.
I mean, they're coming up with a lot of ways to fund public services other than taxing people, specifically the rich. They're coming with a lot of creative ways to avoid having to pay any taxes for public services, which I think is cool. That's kind of based as someone who's recently entered a pretty good tax bracket. I love that. I think it's really smart. I just just pointing out a couple inherent issues
that Tolosa might encounter as well as in the future. Initially planned to be partially completed by 2020 and expanded upon in 2025, NEOM's construction is already behind schedule.
It's not happening!
It turns out that building on undeveloped desert land first requires the construction of operating facilities to house construction equipment and personnel in the unforgiving climate. Some other problems that NEOM and the line are currently facing right now are high temperatures, water availability, and the energy impact of constructing an entire city from scratch in a harsh environment.
Who could have foreseen
Tolosa
this?
is also planned to be fully powered through renewable sources of energy. Each building in the city will have photovoltaic cells installed on their roofs, while strategically placed wind turbines across the city's borders will provide additional capacity to power Tolosa. The city is planned to generate more power than what it consumes, making it a self-sustaining city when it comes to electricity generation. Additionally, at the heart of Tolosa will be the Equitism Tower, the city's tallest structure that will serve as an iconic landmark and a beacon for...
The irony of like Mark Lore living on the top floor penthouse of Equitism Tower, looking out on the city that he owns all the land of. It's the tallest tower in the middle of the city with a giant statue of my face on it. Equitism Tower. So based. So fucking based.
For the city. The tower will house an observation deck, an elevated water storage system, and aeroponic farms that will supply the city with fresh produce. Another consideration of Tolosa's layout is an urban design and transportation system that makes it possible for residents to always be within only a 15-minute commute of key locations and services, such as offices, schools, parks.
Bro, they invented Europe. That's fucking sick. But we don't have to have, you know, shitty European money. That's awesome.
Shops and restaurants. Unlike the line, which will be completely pedestrian-centric with a focus on mass transit, Tolosa will use a mix of carefully planned transit systems and autonomous electric vehicles. The city will make use of the superblock concept of urban planning, wherein heavier traffic is concentrated over on the borders of the block, while bikes and slow-moving EVs will be given priority on inner streets. This achieves two goals. One, ensuring that people can easily move around between blocks, and second, so that residential areas will be far enough away from major streets to avoid excessive noise. The construction of Tolosa will be divided into two phases. The first phase is ambitiously set to be completed by the year 2030. By this point in...
You probably want to pick a location then. Can we have a phase one where you pick where it's going to be for your city, and then maybe a phase two can be the construction? Because you've done a lot of this awesome pitch deck here, but...
In the development, the city would be capable of housing as many as 50,000 residents over an area of 6 square kilometers, which is roughly...
Dude, this is so fucking stupid. Wait. Just as an example, dude. Wait. Have you seen this graph? Where is it? Yeah, this one. Okay. This is California in 2010. I should build a high-speed rail system. China, I should build a high-speed rail system. In 2012, no, cancel it, make a Hyperloop instead. 2015, nothing. 2018, nothing. 2021, we'll have a prototype in a few more years. By this time, China has built 25,000 miles of high-speed rail. In fact, they've built so much rail, they have rails that don't even work. They have too much rail, which is a problem in itself. But it's a better problem than we have. So what is this? This is fucking 10 years now? 10 years to get a fucking one single tunnel in Vegas that does nothing? And you're telling me in 7 years... In 7 years from now, we'll have a full fucking city that houses 50,000 residents? A beautiful city. You haven't even picked the location yet?
twice the size of New York Central Park. Once completed, the second phase of the development aims to fully build the rest of the city over the course.
It took 3 years to build a pool in my city. By the way, entering into a recession, they're going to raise $400 billion to build this fuck-off city?
Of the next 40 years. Over 5 million people are expected to live within the city by this point, with a total area of more than 120 square kilometers. By comparison, the city of Tolosa will be as big as the city of San Francisco, but with more than 6 times its population living in the same area.
How do they
In total,
sleep at
the
night,
entire
dude? It's such a
project is
blatant
estimated
lie.
to cost as much as $400 billion to complete, with funding primarily coming from potential private investors and federal and state grants. In comparison, Saudi Arabia's The Line is estimated to cost a similar
Can we just ask the very obvious question is, if they're raising $400 million largely from private investors, how the fuck is it going to be an equitable? How do those people get their money back, right? That it cannot be an equitable city. The people that put the $400 billion in want a return on that $400 billion. They want to make more than $400 billion.
$500 billion, which, unlike Tolosa, is completely funded by Saudi's sovereign wealth fund and, by extension, the Saudi government. With Tolosa's highly ambitious plan and vision for the future, Mark Lohr and his team have to overcome one of the biggest hurdles with the construction of planned cities like these: funding. It's not exactly easy to convince the government and private investors to lend you billions of dollars into creating a vision that may not be fully realized. And even though Tolosa promises to be different by saying that its people will be at the center of the city's development, it will still need a huge sum of money to even begin this insane mega project. But despite all the mounting environmental and financial challenges, and with no construction work having been started more than a year after the project was first announced, Mark Lohr and his team are still optimistic and determined to fulfill their vision of the most sustainable and inclusive city in the world by the year 2030.
I'll take the bet, dude. I'll take the bet. It does not happen by the year 2030. I'll take that bet. That stuff kind of just pisses me off in general. All this fucking billionaire fucking circle jerking. It's like, can we just improve public transportation in the cities we already have that have tens of millions of people? Like that is a good use of time. Do we really need to fucking have a mega city in the middle of fuck all nowhere with no economic value that's going to just drain water? You can burn your lore coin to get rare pets. Crypto people were talking about this too. Let me tell you something. Any idea at all in the world of futurism or tech, if it was announced in 2021, I often think it will be failed. Because 2021 was a year of bullshit. 2021 was like the golden age of fraud. Everything announced in 21, it should like the gas leak year. Every business idea from 21 should be considered the gas leak year. None of that shit was real, dude. There was so much free money pumped around that everything was like, yeah, we'll do this. We could raise anything. All right, let's watch one more video, and then we'll watch Community. What do we got? I want something interesting. Sick 1 minute vid. How can a 1 minute video be sick? Holy shit. Holy shit. Trash bag suit base jump? That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. Wow. Damn, that's crazy, bro. What a giga chad. Someone said Amazon Prime in 2030. This is how delivery drivers have to deliver your packages. Jeff Bezos is going to be asking, bro. You got to cut costs somewhere. You got to get a truck. Same hour delivery. Man, that was crazy. It's actually a really sick video. Thanks for recommending. I didn't expect it to be so sick. What a baller. That's crazy. This is how you get to Toulouse. Cameraman going crazy. That's probably a drone, right? The whole point was there's a drone ad, I think. What is this?
Now, up.
Too long. Dude, I wish I had my fucking dashboard. God damn it.
Catches the jump when.
This is a video of me popping off in the background of the J-Mook set.
You place it like. Oh, that nair is so good.
Wait.
That nair is amazing because it catches the jump when you place it like that. Right. And you know that Cody's going to be trying to get out of that.
I'm yelling fuck you at all the IBDW fans. Dude, I was kind of an asshole, actually. I was like, when Zayn was playing and he had his little fucking pillow. Wait.
I have.
I think every time Zayn lost his stock, I said, "Nice pillow." I was trying to get in his head, dude. I was front row. Do what you gotta do you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. Not this again. Yeah, Blur's sitting right next to me, losing $500, by the way. Blur's in chat. Shout out to him for paying up, though. Honestly, the GOAT. I've never been more surprised to not receive Blur and T in my life. Let me see what else. Well, give me. What's a great video? I'm looking for something interesting, bro. You guys are sending me stuff that's like
forever.
I'm looking for something crazy. 10-minute video on game design.
Nothing in this world.
The importance of game modding. All right, fuck it.
Can be certain except the following: death, taxes, my shit-ass upload schedule,
Amen,
and
brother.
if possible, your game will be modded by its community. These mods can vary widely. Maybe they're a retextured baseball bat, maybe they're a brand new map, maybe they're this.
I'm making fucking shoes.
Sometimes your game will get modded so much that it's not even your game anymore. How the hell does that work? But what I want to talk about today is the importance of modding and how developers react to modding. The good, the bad, the neutral, the bad. And listen, you know I can't make a modding video without mentioning Skyrim.
Wait, rewind. Was that Spyro Half-Life Year of the Dragon? Is this Spyro X Half-Life 1? That's actually so badass.
Listen, you know I can't.
That's so based. Just
Can't
fucking
make a modding
scorching
video without
vortigons with
mentioning
Spyro?
Skyrim. This game is how I learned modding even existed. You
Yeah,
couldn't name a
everyone
single
modded
thing about
Skyrim.
this game people haven't already modded. Normally kids in Skyrim can't be killed, but you know what modding lets me do? It lets me add more variation to their races and clothing to improve my immersion.
Kill me. Kill.
What do you think Bethesda does? Fight modding? Patch it out? No, they did something only Bethesda could do. Re-release Skyrim all over again so they could sell mods for money. Good going, Todd. There's no way you could fuck that one up. Modding is the entire reason Skyrim remains relevant to this day. And when your community releases more bug fixes than you do, it gives you an idea of how much developers rely on it. I mean,
yeah.
seriously, we have to do...
Bethesda most of all. They just sort of offload all the bug fix work to the community. And that way they can save costs and work on the next game and hype it up.
This one for you too. The fact that I can turn guards into chickens
Hands to yourself, sneak thief.
is something older generations must have only dreamed about doing to Pong. Bethesda's made some pretty stupid decisions regarding modding, but they've never tried to stop it. So, say we're working off an alignment chart.
Okay.
If Bethesda is chaotic good, then my pick for true neutral is probably From Software. The entire modding scene of Dark Souls 3 lives under constant uncertainty of what will actually get you banned. If you play it offline, then generally you'll be safe and not have to worry, but then if you innocently modify control schemes or camera angles, then you have to be extra certain you're offline, because otherwise your ass is soft banned, even if you never interact with another player. I think this is a fair stance to take, given the game's infamous hacking scene.
Yeah, they have multiplayer, right? So
Take down All Might.
But it represents a really flimsy and tricky system of modding within a game that would otherwise really appeal to a thriving scene of modders. Now, let's refer back to that alignment chart. We've got chaotic good and true neutral. So let's go for 3 in a row here. Lawful evil is an extremely specific alignment that I couldn't see describing Nintendo any better. There is a thriving scene of Nintendo game modders, from Zelda to Mario to Pokemon. It's so large that there are literally genres of Nintendo mods, from bullshit creepypasta to meme mods to entire fan games. And yet it seems like Nintendo is always fighting this every step of the way.
They're the worst.
They are nothing if not notoriously anal about emulation, which is pretty much the only effective way to mod their games in the first place. Project M, Pokemon Uranium.
I mean, it's largely because they resell the games every fucking 5 to 10 years. Sometimes less than that, every 3 years. And they can't resell you the game if you're emulating it in good quality on the computer. That's the whole fucking point.
Pangea's ROM hacks, full screen Mario. All of these were shut down either by Nintendo directly or by the creators in fear of Nintendo shutting them down. The counter argument here is the protection of their IPs, and yeah, I understand that part, but when you combine this with a severe lack of accessible virtual consoles and an engine with tightly locked modding tools, it really begins to paint this picture of Nintendo as this overly protective guardian of all customization and accessibility of their games. For further evidence, just
Life finds a way, though, dude. Slippy's if Nintendo ever even thinks about shutting down Slippy, I'm getting a pitchfork. I'm legitimately, we're doing a fucking in-person ride. We're showing up at the doorstep. That is legitimate. That would be fucking a step too far, dude. That thing is such a beautiful amount of work for no money. Ugh, I'm gonna be so mad.
Let's look at Super Mario Maker, which was released with pretty much full intent to combat all of the modding that old Mario games were going through, only to ironically get cracked and further modded to have more options. Nintendo wants everything that's made to be sanctioned under their own approval, but then they don't give people what they want.
Yeah,
For
that's
example,
the problem.
the people wanting Odyssey DLC after a year. And you know what happens? Someone goes, fuck you, I'm making my own kingdoms then, and I'm making Bomb Battlefield too, for good measure. And because Nintendo cracks down so hard on game tampering, the only way you can really access this kind of stuff is through homebrewing and emulation. Before long, you have these underground communities of diehard Nintendo fans hiding in the shadows from the very company that they love.
Yup,
And
Melee.
I've never shared this before, but when I was a teenager, I used to make custom Pokemon ROMs. I would sit down drawing sprites and writing custom text, trying to make my own Pokemon game.
Cool.
And I'm heartbroken I never held onto the files. If I did, I'd show you every last detail.
I mean, I did this too. I made Atrioc Racing,
because
bro.
learning how to mod led me to learn how to edit videos. And learning how to edit videos led me to my job. The reason I share that is because I want to really emphasize the importance of letting people mod your games. Today's modders are tomorrow's developers, and anybody...
I mean, Valve has relied on this for their entire... like, every game Valve owns is just a mod of another game. Often their own game that they just hired the modders for. Including Portal. So, yeah. I don't know. It's... Gmod, yeah.
willing to spend as many hours as you do on your game may just become a helping hand to you later on. So, thank you for watching my video, and you didn't really believe I'd make a modding video without
Oh,
talking about
speaking
Valve,
of.
did you? Are you kidding me? So, let's say Nintendo is lawful evil.
Let's talk
Then
about Valve.
Valve is definitely lawful good. Dota was a Warcraft 3 mod. Team Fortress was a Quake mod. Counter-Strike was a Half-Life mod. Half-Life's engine, Gold SRC, is a mod of the Quake engine. But the reason I list Valve as lawful good is because of more than this. Not only is the company founded on the very act of modding, but they actually provide ample opportunity for up-and-coming modders to perform contract work and, let's be honest, literally do their jobs for them.
The Steam Workshop.
If you've got the know-how, anybody can pick up Blender, model a hat or a gun, and pay for their college textbooks all in less than a month. I know you can, because that's exactly what I did. Minus the part about textbooks. Technically, I never got an item added into the game, but there was a point in my life where all of my time was spent on stuff like this, or this, or this. Yes, it is real. Please vote for it. There are people who make a living just creating stuff like this without ever stepping a foot into Valve's office. But even if you excluded the workshop, there'd still be a thriving scene of modders.
The workshop is goated, and it's kind of a win-win because it makes Steam unassailable from a store perspective. It's just like an easy way to download mods. It's kind of, yeah, it's like a rare thing where like they benefit from it financially and the user benefits from it. So it's kind of just an ultimate win-win. The workshop's sick.
Custom.
Because the worst part about modding is how much fucking rigmarole you got to go through. The average person does not want to fucking homebrew their fucking, you know, console or whatever. I mean, it's just like such a pain in the ass. And so Workshop makes it easy, which is hype.
HUDs, maps, sound effects. You can even make your own Portal puzzles without knowing how to mod. But even if we excluded both the workshop and game mods, there would still be things to thank Valve for. Black Mesa, Portal Stories Mel, Fortress Forever, Hunt Down the Freeman. Maybe we don't talk about that last one. All of these are completely standalone Source Engine game mods. Yeah, Valve straight up let people just make their own spin-off games and sell it for money.
Yeah, Gary's mod, bro.
Holy shit. And even if you excluded that, I'd still have an ace up my sleeve. Gary's Mod is a game fundamentally made just to modify the Source Engine and let you do what you want with it. And even if you excluded that, there's still Source Filmmaker. People make a living using Source Filmmaker. I make a living using Source Filmmaker. If developers were family members at Christmas, then Valve would be my grandpa. Because he gives out the biggest, sickest presents that make the rest of us look like penny pinchers. And if you know me, then you know I'm very
It'd be cool if occasionally they made games too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. We're gonna praise Valve, and it's like, cool, I get it, and they make a lot of money on Steam. But it'd be awesome if like they actually made a game or two now and then. That'd be fucking sick. I don't know if I'm getting greedy here, but that'd be awesome. They made Artifact. All right, maybe not.
Frustrated with Valve, and it's very hard for me to say nice things about them these days. Valve sucks ass at getting anything done. So if I can rain praise for 2 entire pages of my script, then guess what? They really are that good. Modding is an integral part of gaming today. Whether it's a car in Minecraft, or Johnny Joe Star in Isaac, or an Armadale Godsword in GTA 5, or Yoshi's Circuit in Rocket League, or even
whatever the fuck this is.
Modding does so much for the industry. It can elongate a game's lifespan. It can fix bugs the developers ignore. It can lead to even larger projects. And above all else, it makes me smile. I want to see more games embrace this and give players the tools they need to do it. Earlier this year, A Hat in Time hosted a contest completely centered around modding, and even a prize for the best mappers. This is fucking awesome. Not this though, this is awful. Developers, if you're watching, support your modding scene. Host contests, release tools, inspire creativity. Modders, if you're watching, finish that big stupid project you shelved last month. Release that Tim Allen weapon texture you never did. I love them all so much. And for everybody else, keep an eye on who's making what. Because today's modders are tomorrow's developers.
Facts.
Unless you made this, then go die.
Love a little bit of Sonic inflation, dude. Teardown has great mods. I've heard that. I'm going to try Teardown's mods after I beat the game. That guy's pretty hype. His name's Funke or Funky. Either way, he's got interesting videos. A lot of TF2